Every morning at 9:30, the market's open. And for the first 15 minutes, I don't trade. I watch. Because what happened in those first 15 minutes tell me almost everything I need to know about where the price wants to go for the rest of the day. It's called the Opening Range Breakout, or the ORB. It's the core setup I use every single trading day on NQ and ES. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the orb is, how I draw it, how I decide which direction I trade, where I enter, where I put my stop loss, and what it looked like on real charts. No theory, no textbook definition, just the exact process I follow every morning before I put a single trade on. Let's get into it. Quick context. If you're new here, my name is Karl. Welcome to the channel. On this channel, I document my real path toward becoming a consistent, profitable trader. No signal, no paid group, no guru claim, just honest trading, win, loss, rule breaks, and everything in between. I trade NQ and AS using two core setup: the orb, which we'll be covering today, and the ICT concept, which I'll break down in a future video. Every trade I take, it's scored using my pre-trade discipline checklist. It's a 10-point scoring system that measures how well I execute, not just whether I made money. I'll link the video in the description if you want to understand the full system. But today, Orb, let's go. When the market opened at 9:30 New York times, institutional players, algorithm, and retail traders all hit the market at the same time. Price moved fast, often aggressively, and often on both directions, as the market find its footing. During that period, I used the first 15 minutes, so between 9:30 to 9:45, price established a range, a high, and a low. That high and that low become the most important level on my chart for the rest of the morning. Why? Because once of the opening range is established, one of the two things usually happen. Price break above the range high and continue higher, or the price break below the range low and continue lower. That breakout in either direction is the trade. The orb is not a complicated concept, but trading it consistently with discipline, without chasing, without entering early, that's where most traders struggle. All right, enough talking. Here exactly how I set the range every morning. So let's get on the chart. Actually, I'll show you very quickly what's the 15-minute range, and then I'll show you an indicator on TradingView that do it for you. So let's go right here. Let's say any day, doesn't really matter. So I'm looking at 9:30 for the 15-minute candle in the morning. So it would be right here, 9:30. So since it's a 15-minute candle, it means the candle start at 9:30 and end at 9:45. So usually what you would do is draw a box. So select the box right here, the menu, and then draw a box from the bottom of that 9:30 to the top, and then you extend that to your right. So that would become your range for the day. But like I said, one easy way that you can do it, go to indicator and just search for orb and target. And it will be this one right here at the top, opening range and breakout and target. And it's created by Lux Algo. So just click on it, it will show up on your chart, and then you come right here at the top, and this is the setting that you have to put in, or basically my own setting. So what you have to do, so time period, 15 minutes, and your custom range has to be between 9:30 and 9:45. And make sure you select the proper time zone. This is very important. So it has to be on New York time. So depending on which zone you are, just make sure that you're selecting the proper time zone. The rest, I don't think I change anything, but anyway, you can look at it if you see anything different from mine. But yeah, that's it. So when it's done, it will show up on your chart and it will draw boxes for you. So the range get created automatically. So for lazy people like me, well, you don't have to do it manually. It's very easy. So it doesn't matter on which time frame you go. Let's say if I go even in the 1 minute time frame, the box will still be drawn, and you can see so the dark area here, that's the first 15 minutes. So that's the area that we don't trade. And then when it's done, it will become a solid block like here. And then from there, you get ready to open up your position. All right, so that's step number one. Now we have clearly defined our orb. So how do I do it? So to make sure I don't do any cherry picking, I'll do the whole last week. Okay, so today, let's say I go back to my 5 minute. So just to make sure. So today, as we can see, we're Tuesday, March 10. So I'll go last Monday completely here, and we'll start Monday right here. All right. So that's Monday from last week. So here's my rule how I trade it. First of all, I need another indicator. So I need two EMA. Probably the best tool I can suggest you to use would be the one called 10-in-1 different moving average. It's created by a guy from so that one I really like it. Why? Because there's a lot of options that you can create or change or select. So in my case, I use two EMA. First one will be the EMA 55 with directly on the chart. And then the second one I'll use for this strategy will be the EMA 55 again, but on the 15-minute chart. So I just select that. Make sure you select the color you want. And when it's done, you click OK. And it will show up on your chart like this. So I have my 55 EMA with the current price chart that I'm currently on, 5 minute. And then the orange one is my 15 minute. So that's part number 2. Basically, my rule are when the orb get created at 9:45, I need to do those following things. First of all, I have to make sure that my price or the current candle is above or below where I want to go. So basically, if the orb is breaking on the upside, I have to make sure that I'm currently above my two EMAs. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, I have to make sure that I have a clear break on the 5 minute following a retest. So what I mean is, as the price break outside, I needed to come back and retest the top of the orb before it start to move up. That's the second part. And then the last one, I need to see an engulfing candle after the breakout. So what's an engulfing candle? It's a candle that engulfs the previous one. So it's bigger than the previous one. So in this case, see, we break the orb, come back for retest, and then this candle on the 5 minute is engulfing the previous one right here. So that would become my entry right here. Stop loss would be just below the lowest part of the retest right here. And to take the profit, well, there's the big question. This is exactly how I do it. And honestly, I couldn't find anywhere on YouTube anyone talking about this. Maybe there's other YouTubers that are doing something similar to me, but I couldn't find anything like it. And I know personally it worked very well. So what I do, I take a Fibonacci retracement tool, and then I draw from the bottom to the top of the orb. So let's say the price is breaking up. So I have to take my fib and then go from the bottom to the top. So I have to go in the same direction of the breakout. And just to give you an idea, this is the setting I use for this. So the most important one that you need to remember is the minus 1 actually, minus 1.6, minus 2. That's the most important one. The other one are all the regular fib. It does not apply to the orb, but for the orb only, you need the minus 1, minus 2, and minus 1.6. So what this thing does, basically, this is my rule. So I do my fib from the bottom to top, and you'll see I have my minus 1, minus 1.6, and minus 2 showing on the chart. So usually what I'll do is I'll set my take profit above the plus 1, depending on what the reward ratio I'm getting. Usually I'm looking for at least 1 to 2. 1.5 is my bare minimum, but usually I'm really looking to get something at least 1 to 2. If I'm not getting 1 to 2, I'll try to extend it. I'll look behind, I'll look in the past if there was anything that could prevent me from going in those area. But usually I'll try to maybe stick somewhere in the middle here. So let's do this as an example, and let's extend this. So my rule are, once the price start to break out, as soon as it touch the minus 1, I move my stop loss to the entry, so I'm not losing any money. So as this example is not a good example because the price did reverse and hit my stop loss, and which is perfectly fine. The orb is not a perfect setup. For me personally, my win rate for the orb is between 60 to 70%. But for that specific day, that was a fail. All right, so let's continue on the next one. So next day, right here on Tuesday, we have another orb forming. So let's see what is going on. So it's breaking on the downside. My EMA are on top of the price. Usually I'm not a big fan of when I see the first few candles like this going up and down, up and down, up and down. But let's follow the rule. So in that case, it breaks down, it retests, and we have the engulfing. So I would take my stop loss right here, and then, whoops, the opposite. Right here, this, and then to find my profit, I have to take the fib from the top of the orb, since the price is going down, to the bottom right here, and then I'll let it go. So I open up right here, the price went all the way to my 1 right here, minus 1, so I would move my stop loss at the entry. So at this point I'm not losing any money, and I'll let the price keep going. But in that case, it reversed, so it went back to my entry, not losing any money. I didn't make any money, but at least I didn't lose any money for that day. So usually I can wait a little bit later if it's not too late during the day. So in this situation for that day, the orb or the price went all the way on the opposite side of the orb. So let's see if I can take a position right here. So it break, it retests, came down back down, and I don't have an engulfing candle. I wait, don't have an engulfing candle. That one is smaller, that one is smaller, and right here that one is just a little bit bigger, so it do engulf the previous one. So I have multiple retests. It stay above. I have my engulfing right here. This is great. Entry right here. My stop loss. At that point, you could put it right here in the last retest, or you could go right here if you want to. So let's say we go right here a little bit further, and let's see what my fib is telling me about my profit. So take profit. Let's say we do right here in the middle. So at 1, -1, I move my stop loss at 0. So this is what happened. I go to my 0. So at this point, I'm guaranteed not to lose any money. And the price keep going up. And then it closed, but I didn't lose any money. So it just break directly at break even. And as we can see, the price went directly back inside the orb. So then again, that day was not profitable. Like I said, I'm not doing any cherry picking. Last week was not actually a very great week with everything going in the world, with all the current situation, conflict, and so on and so on. So I'm not doing any cherry picking. That's actually real trade and real setup that I took last week. So if I keep going on the next day, right here, so the orb form, it break on the upside, retest, and then I have an engulfing candle right here, and also we need to don't forget that the EMA has to be below. I have to draw my fib, bottom to the top. All right, so at 1, I bring my price to break even, and then I could target right here between the two, and that one was a win. So if we look where I started right here, so that was a 2.4 risk to reward ratio. So if you were risking $100 on that trade, you would have made $240. And also you will see very, very, very often the price will hit the -2. So that's why I include it on my fib, because very often when I see an A+ setup, a bit similar like this one, I'll bring my target just below the -2. And like I said, very, very often it will hit that range. So that's almost a 3 risk to reward ratio. Let's move on. Next day. So right here, the next day. All right, so we have a breakout, came up, came down, retest. Honestly, I have to say this was an engulfing, but I won't draw the drawing because we can see right after that it went to below. So that was a negative for that day. Not that day, but I mean for that trade specifically. And if we look a little bit further, are we going to find something else? So at that point, yeah, we're still not too late during the day. So it could be another setup coming right here. So we could look, drop, retest, engulfing. Open my trade. It will be just before the highest peak right here. I do my fib. All right, so the price hit -1, so I just moved to break even. Actually, I want to go in the middle right here, and as you can see, this one was a win. It almost went to the -1.6 at that point. So that was a 1.82 risk to reward ratio. So if you risk $100, well, that would be $182 profit. If we keep going, So we are Thursday. So the last day of the week, last week was Friday. So let's see what happened on Friday. So breakout, came back inside the range, and then breakout again. But as you can see, I'm below my EMA. Just want to make sure this one, yeah, EMA was good. So I'm below my EMA. For that kind of setup, I'm not trading the orb. I need to see my EMA aligning with the orb. So in that case, I'm not trading. And as you can see, pretty much all day Friday last week until like 3 o'clock in the morning, that's 4 o'clock, it went all the way down, and then it decided just to wake down. But I don't trade past 4 o'clock, so that doesn't apply to me. And let's do just a quick one. So that's Monday. So let's do actually this Monday. What happened? So we have the orb right here. It break, retest. Is that an engulfing? Yeah, it's pretty close to an engulfing. So open right here, just below. I do my fib on the bottom, the top of the orb. At 1.0, I go to break even, but let's set this right in the middle. We already know that it's in profit, but anyway, if you put it right in the middle between the 1 and the 1.6, that's a 2.38 risk to reward ratio, and that was a win. And what most orb traders do wrong is they trade every breakout in either direction. Long when it's break to the high and short when it breaks to the low with no filter. I don't do that, and you shouldn't do that either. I only trade the orb with the trend. That's one of my core filter, and that's why I have my 2 EMAs. It's eliminate a huge percentage of losing trade. Do I miss some trade this way? Absolutely. Like you saw. Some of the best orb trade go against the trend, but I'm not trying to catch every trade. I'm trying to catch the high probability one consistently. And here's the thing about trading only with the trend. When the orb breaks in your direction, it tends to run because you got momentum behind it. You're not fighting the market, you're joining it. I'm showing you this because this channel isn't about showing you only the good trade. The mistakes are where the real education is. Let me give you 4 mistakes I see traders make with the orb because I made every single one of them. Mistake 1. Entering before the range is complete. You see the price moving fast at 9:35 and you want in. Don't. Wait for 9:45. The range isn't set until it's set. Mistake 2. Trading every breakout with no direction filter. Long on the high break, short on the low break, all day regardless of trend. You'll win some, you'll lose some, and barely break even while paying commission. And that's the trend filter. Add the trend filter, like my 2 EMAs. It changed everything. Mistake number 3. Moving your stop inside the range after entry without touching the -1 fib range. You panic, you get stopped out, price continue in your direction. Your stop is where it is for a reason. If structures say stop there, stop there. Mistake 4. Taking more than 2 orb trade on the same day after the first or second one fell. Unless you're reset completely, mentally, and on your checklist, that third trade is almost always emotional. My rules: maximum 2 orb attempt per session. If it fell cleanly, I move on. The orb is not magic. It doesn't work every day like you saw on the chart. Some morning, the range is too wide to trade. Some morning, there's no clean breakout. And some morning, the breakout fell. But when it's set up cleanly, trend align, confirmation candle, proper stop, minimum 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, it's one of the highest probability setup available to a day trader. The edge isn't finding the perfect setup. The edge is in executing the same process consistently every single morning without letting emotional override your rules. If you want the pre-trade discipline checklist, I used to score every orb trade. Let me know in the comment below. It's free. It's the same document I use every day. If you found this useful, please subscribe. This is Karl, Trading Journey. I'll see you soon.